In 1991, the state of Somalia collapsed. No government, no president, no parliament, no central bank. Central power gone. And yet, life didn't end. Markets opened, clans negotiated peace, merchants traded, children were born. Against all odds, society kept breathing. This is the story of how people survived and failed without a state. And it is one of the closest things the modern world has ever been to a real-world experiment in anarchy. For 2 decades, Somalia had been ruled by a Marxist military dictator, Siad Barre. His government promised unity, progress, order, and delivered poverty, torture, and repression. When it all came crashing down in 1991, the state dissolved overnight. Ministries looted, soldiers deserted, bureaucrats fled, and the institutions that were supposed to protect the people, well, they disappeared. To the Western eye, it looked like hell. Gunfire in Mogadishu, warlords carving territories, famine on CNN. But beneath the chaos, something strange happened. Something that most political scientists and politicians, of course, refused to admit. Without a government, people to a large extent started governing themselves. In the ruins of central authority, an ancient system re-emerged, older than any constitution. It was called Khair, the Somali customary law. Elders met under trees, not in parliaments. They didn't write laws, they negotiated them. And justice was not about punishment, but restitution. You stole, you repaid. You killed, your clan compensated. No prisons, no police, no politicians, no bureaucracy. And yet contracts were enforced, disputes were resolved. In some periods, peace, fragile and local, but real, was maintained. Merchants began importing goods again. Everything from food and fuel to phones. Remittances from abroad flowed freely, unhindered by taxes or corruption. Telecom companies sprang up overnight. Within years, Somalia had one of the most competitive mobile networks in Africa, with no central regulator. While neighboring countries smothered under state monopolies and red tape, stateless Somalia ironically had cheaper phone rates and faster connection times. Imagine that, an anarchic clan war zone with better cell service than a London suburb. Markets, law and cooperation, all without a central command. But let's not romanticize it too much. It was messy, it was chaotic, and on many aspects, it was complete shit. Freedom without order cuts both ways. When the state fell, so did the walls that held violence in check. So did the institutions, whose job it was to protect the citizens. Even if they carried out a terrible job, clans became armies, leaders became warlords, and men with guns became the manifestation of the truth that power, not principle, gets to decide who eats first, or eats at all. Remember the famous line in the Malian dialogue? The strong do what they can, and the weak suffer what they must. The same decentralization that allowed trade and voluntary order also allowed predation. Warlords taxed markets at gunpoint. Pirates hijacked ships off the coast. And of course, not making the situation any better, foreign powers funneled weapons to their favorite factions. The libertarian dream of a voluntary society had also demonstrated one of the brutal truths of human nature, that freedom in the Hobbesian sense means opportunity for creation and destruction. A market without any leviathan of any form to keep violence out of the equation can never fully become a free market. Remember, it is a free market because aggression is not involved. Because transactions are voluntary, it becomes a positive-sum game. The moment aggressive violence enters, we get zero-sum. Still, even in the worst years, and those years were pretty bad, to put it mildly, some regions, like Somaliland, built local stability without waiting for a central state. They held elections, maintained peace, and reopened schools. In November 2024, Somaliland held its 4th presidential election since independence, with over 1 million people voting across more than 2,000 polling stations.